Thank you for joining me. So I'm uncoiling my notebook first. Do not use your husband's pliers. You know, I thought this wasn't going to be a big deal using his pliers, but as you can see, the coil is kind of small and the pliers are really big, so it's hard to grab. And then in addition to that, because they're so big and they do have teeth, teeth marks, I get teeth marks on my coil, which I guess in the long run isn't a big deal, but I probably should have used some kind of craft pliers. So just make sure that you get the coil the same size as the rest of the coil, the one that you're undoing, and then it comes right out. So it does really go really fast as long as you make sure that you get it pretty much the same size. Granted, this is double speed just due to time, but it still went pretty quickly. I was really happy with it. Then we move on to the life planner. So with the life planner, just take out, your covers, take out all of your bookmarks and anything that you may have added. It'll make this process go a lot smoother. This is a bigger coil because it is the 18-month planner, and then the notebook is just the regular deluxe notebook with the small coil. So this coil was a little bit harder for me, I guess. Maybe because of the fact that it's just larger, so it took a little bit more time to adjust. But once you get it adjusted, again, it goes pretty quickly as far as uncoiling it and just making sure that it is the same size or close to the same size as the rest of the coil, and it uncoils really quickly. So now I'm gonna again keep adjusting it because I want it to be pretty close to the regular size coil, so that way it'll come out really nicely. So that does take me a little while, and again, I think it was probably a lot due to the pliers that I used, and for some reason I just feel directionally challenged with all this. You'll see that hurt a little bit when I go back to bend them backwards, 90-degree angle, and my brain just did not comprehend that. So again, just take your time adjusting everything. It does take a little while, but with the right pliers, I think it'll be better. So as you can see, it starts to come out really smoothly. And then once I get that finished, I just go in and I decide what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. So my goal here was to separate the 2015 out from the planner and then add that to the notebook. Well, I counted the pages prior and I ended up taking out 35 pages or 33 pages of the planner to put in the notebook. So I wanted to do the same with the notebook. I took 33 or 35 pages out of the notebook to put back into my other planner just because I wanted all the paper together. I didn't want to lose it. Yes, it still makes the original 18-month planner kind of bulky, but that's okay because I'm not going to use it until 2016 anyway. So now for the recoil part. So getting these lined up is probably the hardest thing, especially since the notebook paper and the calendar paper are just a little bit off. I went ahead and left this in here because I wanted you to see, don't try to clip your pages first. It just didn't work for me. I would suggest that you at least get one of your coils in, get it started, and then you can go back. So I started from the bottom and then I went to the top and I just get it threaded. It was easiest for me if I held it just like this. You'll notice that when I do the life planner as well. And then once I got it all lined up and I got it started, then I put the bands on it and it goes extremely fast. So then I flip it over and just go to town on putting that coil back in. As you can see, I'm being really careful because I didn't want to hurt the pages, and since the life planner pages and the notebook paper are just a teeny bit off, it can make it a little bit more complicated, so I don't show you all of that. But then once I get it done, I make sure to lay it flat to see if it lays flat and that everything is in securely, and then I go back to bending. So this is what I was saying about being directionally challenged. I did not get how to do a 90-degree angle on this. I don't know why, but I don't know. So anyway, I do struggle with it just a little bit. So this is me struggling a little bit on getting that angle. It probably would have made a difference too if I had the right pliers because they would have been smaller and I could have bended it more in the way that I needed it to. But I do eventually get it done, and then again I test it to make sure that it's going to lay flat, and then putting it all back together. So then I move on to the life planner. So with the life planner, I'm just adding those note pages at the back under the notes section. Again, you know, I swapped out the same amount of pages for the same amount of pages. When I actually got my life planner, one of the sticker pages wasn't coiled into the rest. So you'll see me grab that here in a second and add it too. It's because it wasn't originally coiled, and then I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, well, while I'm here, I might as well add that in. So that's what I'm getting now. Because this one is bigger, it is a little bit harder, again, because the note pages and the life planner pages don't exactly line up. So here I'm just making sure that everything is lining up correctly and it's all going to work out fine. As you can see, I messed that up because I put it down on the wrong edge, but this took me a little while, and I decided to use the table for this because it is a bigger one and it was harder to hold. So I just, you know, thread it through a couple times, and then I was able to get it going, and then I flip it and do it on its other side from the left to the right instead of the right to the left. That first page, I had ripped the bottom of that vellum page, so it ended up not catching and it falls off because I had ripped it, which is okay. I'll figure out some other way maybe to put it back in if I really want it. And then just taking your time, again, not poking these pages was the hardest thing. So just make sure that you're getting it through the holes all the way through. But it goes, you know, decently okay. It's not too terribly hard. And then, like I said before, this is probably my favorite hold on this. Once you get it started, is to hold it this way so that way you can see the back and the front at the same time, and it's just a little bit easier. And then now back to bending. So, you know, like I've already said, my brain didn't like this part, but you know, it's okay. It wasn't too terribly bad. It was actually a lot easier than the notebook, probably because the coil's bigger with the pliers that I was using. And then once I think I got it ready to go, I just lay it flat again, make sure everything is okay, and that's it. So thank you for joining me and for watching this. I appreciate, you know, your time, and I hope this helped. Have a great day.